am I supposed to say?
Ma Patricia, are you a marvelous, miraculous human being? Uh-huh. You said yes. Are you a goddess?
Yeah.
There you go. Yes. That's what the world needs to hear. Now, hold on 1 second. Ma Patricia Sunflowers, are you there? All right. We're broadcasting, and you already said, and I broadcast for the whole world, that you recognize that you are a marvelous, miraculous human being and that you are a goddess. And you said yes. Did you not?
Your voice is very fading out.
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Well, I'll say it for you. Everybody can listen. That we introduced the broadcast with you telling the world that you are a goddess and that you are a marvelous, miraculous human being. And so is Julianne Marie, and so is Georgina, and so is Vanessa, and Harlan Leaszt is a young god also. And all of the women of our families, your sister, Martha, your daughters, Anna Marie, Laura, and all your great and grandchildren, April and Rosa and Edith and Angela and April and Rosa and Edith, and also Ben and Shannon and John, and all your generations are marvelous, miraculous people, and all of the people who have ever lived on this planet are marvelous, miraculous people who have done one terrible error. Since the fall of Mount Thera and the change from Atlantis into the later Greeks, they went patriarchal instead of remaining egalitarian. They need to empower women like you. You have the name of Sunflower because this age needs sun power from the sun, our nearest star. And Anna Marie singing cricket has been singing to the entire world on your behalf too.
My phone is just about to die on you.
All right, now that's your battery, but your phone is only on and off, but it comes back on. And I know we're going to be talking again soon because I told you today I got you some powerful help that is very, very famous, and you're going to be getting the help that you desire. And you deserve the complete recognition and dignity as the co-leader of the world that you are. And we're sending this message. And we give greetings to all people there to understand we're co-leaders, not a bunch of slime.
To save this message, press 1. Your greeting has been saved. To change extension type, press 1. To record extension name, press 2. To manage greetings,
are you there, Ma
3.
Patricia?
To change after the greeting behavior, press 4. To delete this extension, press 8. To return.
Okay, you heard from Ma Patricia. At 82, she's doing some better than some of the middle-aged women I know. Now, I want to understand what's going on in the country with the wealthiest corporations in the world that doesn't have any family life. What's going on in the country with all those corporations of the world that has loads of military people and loads of people in jail. What's going on in this country? I'll tell you what's going on in this country. The women are codependent. They don't act like adults. And some of the men are so oblivious, too many of them, they don't even notice it. And they give a wink to the one full flood of their little brothers around the world who are raping women and killing each other. This is the hearing. Listen up, world. This is the God speaking to you. How? This is the God howling at you. You ladies have to stand up. I'll stand up for all of you. And I'm also standing up for all of you men. Because without your ladies standing up, you are a dead, extinct species. Well, we will do our LU Code Savioral Mysteries soon and some outreach calls. And then we will resume our hearing. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and everyone as soon as possible. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and everyone as soon as possible. And we say, Namaste, Vitakuye Oyasin, Mitakuye Kose Viral, Ko Pax culture, Konksam Pax, Kolam Pax culture, peace culture, partnership culture, parity culture. And we'll say, Bahava L'chaim, Shalom, Salam, Salam, Shalom. I say it. I'm big enough for all of you 7 billion midgets. You'll come under my wing if I have to punch you under my wing. Let go of Pluto, you idiots. And I'll say, to your best, said lyric to your best. Merci, Schwanzavag. Chinque. Chop chop. Sayonara. Das Vidanya. Ubuntu. Buenos dias. Ciao. Mir. Pace. Good day. Cheerio. And all of the blessings and all the greetings of all of our lands and all of our heritages, our lands, our heritages of our earth, and all our earths, past, present, future, as Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-Savioraz. And we'll say, love and live eternally young and prosper everyone and all. Eternally young, longest, and prosper everyone and all, past, present, future, as equinox true cues. And we'll say, love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper everyone and all, as equinox true cues, co-secretary generals, co-SZTARRISZE. Okay, and we had some expert witnesses, but here's what's really going on in the United States. People are individualistic, or maybe they like their nuclear family or their atomized little splinter of a nuclear family that lives in their four walls with their electronic devices turned on and their entire family and neighborhood turned off. In North America. And they have no human kindness for anyone who they really know. They don't give each other the time of day. They don't say hi to neighbors. And if they do, it's only to talk about something real superficial. And not about the fact that their entire planet is in danger and maybe they could work together to do something about it. That is not the milk of human kindness. The milk of human kindness is truthful. It says, our world is in trouble, we need to save it, and the biggest factor in the saving has been shown by repeated study after study is the empowerment of women. But in North America, the women are afraid to say that. The ladies are hiding from one another in North America, and that is not the milk of human kindness. And a lot of them had trouble with their breastfeeding as babies, and the men did too, and they're busy acting it out all over the place. We need to say the milk of human kindness, 2 to 3 years, optimal, on cue, breastfeeding for every holy baby girl and every holy baby boy on this and all planets, past, present, future, the Milky Way, and beyond. And we also say the milk of human kindness, that means contact. That means making contact. Past, present, future, in a loving way, in a concerned way, in an interested way, in a human way, in a divinely aware way. Contact with your neighbors and your extended family and your family. Past, present, future, as equinox true cues, co-secretary generals, co-SZTARRIZZE, who are not afraid to say parity, not patriarchy. That's what makes you a co-secretary general equinox true cue. You say parity, not patriarchy, past, present, future, and you're home free with God is God. Your God is God will come into your world, into your life, and make it all good again. Just say those words and you'll be fine. Show some outreach to other people. You just heard from a woman who said this to the world. She endorsed the pneumonial golden rule. Where are you? Her daughter has endorsed it. She's given me permission to do all kinds of things with that while she's busy too. Where are you? Let's drink the milk of human kindness, of human beings toward one another, of men toward women, of women toward women, and of all people toward next generations, both females and males, the youths and our children, past, present, future, as equinox true cues, co-secretary generals, co-SZTARRIZZE. And we'll drink the milk, the water of loving, living planets that will regain and sustain our planet Earth and all our Earths to be, past, present, future. And again, I did this representing all, both, and each and every one, and on behalf of all, both, and each and every one as soon as possible. As Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary General, go save your eyes. And we'll do this, and you know, tomorrow I'll bring in a juice glass and a wine glass, and we'll also add that up. Because we want to celebrate some of the various holy days together. But we've got one yet coming up, which is Mother's Day. Normally, we also celebrate Madronit in December. A lot of you didn't do that, you little idiots. So now we have to do it for you again in May. And May is a very better time to do it. It is a Mother's Month. So we'll do it. So now we're going to say we'll drink the water of loving, living planets that will regain and sustain our planet Earth and all our Earths to be, past, present, future, as the Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-Save Your Eyes. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together, past, present, future, including all our equinox months, both the springs and the autumnal golden springs. Starting with that, and then all our years rounds, we'll do that past, present, future, starting with our Shekinahs and our young Shekinahs and young Shekinahs, past, present, future as Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-Save Your Eyes. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together, past, present, future, as Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-Save Your Eyes. Look at our gallery of consciousness currencies. These are my Shekinahs, your Shekinahs of the past, your Shekinahs of current times, and your Shekinahs and young Shekinahs and young Shekinahs put together with their Shekinahs to be the first Co-Secretary General's Co-Saver Oz of a planet in connection with other planets that are listening. Contact was right. They are listening. And I am giving this to all of you. And I will give it to you tomorrow, and I will give it to you the next day even better. Okay? You're going to have a risenness tomorrow. You're going to be all risen tomorrow. And this week you'll be all risen. If I have to grab you by the ears, you'll become risen. I'm not going to wait for what light bulbs you want to change. Your light bulbs are very, very dim. You're going to have to rely on my light. It's a little bit brighter. Okay, and we'll make all the kisses here too. and will choose paradisal parity and say no to plutonic patriarchal planeticide, past, present, future, as equinox true Qs, co-secretary generals, co-saviors. We'll start fresh. And we'll say, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earths, past, present, future, as equinox true Qs, co-secretary generals, co-saviors. And we'll say, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the languages of all the heritages of our earth and our earths, past, present, future, as co-secretary generals, co-saviors, equinox true Qs. Okay, now we're going to do some outreach calls. All right, I don't think we actually did our ceremony yet this afternoon, so I'm going to do that and then make some more outreach calls. I'm doing a little bit of outreach there behind the scenes. And so let's do this again. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both in each and every one, as soon as possible. And again, you can see what this behavioral ceremony is really about, anthropology, and you can read about it at 5050now.wordpress.com. It's about the anthropology of choosing reparative veneration and valuation of women and young people, females and males, as the first place, the jumping off, the starting place for human apotheosis, females and males, all generations, but we start with our Shekinahs and our young Shekinahs and Hekinahs. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, moving flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both in each and every one, as soon as possible. The light is on in all our hearts, and we have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both in each and every one, as soon as possible. And all the blessings and all the greetings and all the languages, we do that regularly. You can go back. I'm not going to take the time on it right now, but we include all the various languages of the world, as many as we can think of to include in our blessings. And now we also say beyond the world also. So everything from Namaste, Mitakuya Oyasin. Oh, I might as well say them. Namaste, Mitakuya Oyasin, Mitakuya Koste Reall, Kong Sam Pax, Ko Am Pax culture, peace culture, Bahava L'chaim Shalom, Salam Shalom. Shalom, salam, salam, shalom, mir, pace, merci, ciao, schlanzvag, ubuntu, buenos dias, chinque, chap chap, sayonara, tiobesk, zevlerek, tiobesk, and ciao, and I think I said Ubuntu and Buenos Dias and good day and cheerio and many, many more. There's many, many more. And we also say love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper everyone and all, as Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-SZT. And once again, we say love and live longest everyone and all. Love and live longest eternally, everyone and all, prosper everyone and all. As Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-SZT, Equinox True Q's. Now, apparently, most of the people in the United States culture don't have any milk left. They're not trying to create a gathering place, and that reminds me, let's get on the line so that we can know that people can call in. And of course, that's always, if you're outside of North America, you have to dial 011 and then dial country code 1. And then it's country code 1, 641-715-3580, access code 773342. And we'll drink the milk of human kindness for all, both in each and every one, as soon as possible, as highlighting the importance of 2 to 3 years breastfeeding for all our holy baby girls and holy baby boys, and all mothers regarded as engaging in a very holy behavior in giving breastfeeding that's celebrated by all the family and community, including fathers, and assisted by them with every kind of common place for doing it together, as well as individually within their homes, and all the proper recognition and discussion of that it deserves, and past, present, future, and all the milk of human kindness throughout all the stages and ages of life, past, present, future, as Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-Secretary. And the nice thing about being Co-Secretary General's Co-Secretary is that your age remains eternally young. So, because parity will bring forth a stress-free culture, and a stress-free culture gives you eternal youth. Okay? So we will say huge, all will drink on behalf of all, both, and each and everyone, representing all, both, and each and everyone as soon as possible. Okay, and now we'll do the water. We'll drink the water of the enlightened, loving, living planets that will reclaim and sustain all our planet Earth to be, past, present, future, all our Earth and all our planets Earth, all our planets to be, past, present, future, as Equinox 2Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-Secretary. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, past, present, and future, as Equinox 2Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-Secretary, starting with our equinox seasons, both spring and autumnal spring, golden spring, and that's our beginning circle with all our Shekinahs and all our young Shekinahs and Kikinas, past, present, future, as Equinox 2Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-Secretary. And and again, we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together, past, present, future, as Equinox 2Q's Co-Secretary General's Co-Secretary. That includes mine, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to have to include mine. Back and forth in time. Some overt recognition on that. And all of yours, all the young peoples especially, that have been delayed so long by a very retarded parental generation and grandparental generations in these generations. And we'll choose parity for our home planet Earth, parity paradise that creates gardens of Edens and Elysian fields all over this planet, past, present, future. And we'll say no, 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 no to patriarchal planeticide, to primitive patriarchal plutonic planeticide. We will say yes now to parity. And those of you who cannot talk about parity, you're going to be spitting it out pretty soon, or else you're going to be spitting out plutonium. So you have to decide what you're going to be spitting out of your mouth. Say parity instead of patriarchy, because patriarchy means plutonium in your soup. You better wake up, and wake up now, and we love you so much. You know you could say parity, paradise on this and all our planets, as Co-Secretary General's Co-Secretary Equinox True Q's. And again, we'll say, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and earths, past, present, future, as Equinox True Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior-Raz. And again, we'll say, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritage, all the languages of all the heritages of our earth and earths, as all our planets, as past, present, future, as Equinox True Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior-Raz. Now, the universe is listening to me, and this is a hearing also. I'm the only one here, and the universe hears that. The universe hears how I'm alone in doing this, and sees how many people who have asked to come are not coming, and are not, although we do have people watching. We do clearly have over 200,000 people, 207, some 11,000, 1,100, 11 have watched. It's always 11 in my book. They have watched this. But some of the people who we have called upon most welcomingly and have greatest reason to be here are only being represented by me instead of representing themselves and one another in a circle. And that is a very big mistake for these people. And so we want to make sure they know that they are welcome, and that the time is here and now, and that they will suffer consequence. Odds are very, very good that they will suffer a real consequence from the Mother, Father, Goddess, God for not coming here by now. And we want to warn you, you are running that terrible risk. You are running that risk by not coming. So remember, the conference line is 773-342. That's the access code, and the number is 641-715-3580. And I'll make sure to remind you of that. You need to, and you can always call me. Those of you who are a little closer to me, you know my phone number, and we'll get you on the conference line very easily. So come, and because Goddess God is judging the fact that you are not here now. Goddess God is judging it. I know it is. The process is doing that. So good luck, because you have created yourself a likelihood of curses by not coming. We are asking that they be mercifully dealt to you, and that they not be overwhelmingly difficult for you, and that you can recover from them, so that you can then come in the spirit of understanding the importance of parity instead of patriarchy. So let's make a couple of outreach now. So we want to say that we are engaged Wait one moment while I bring up the right graphic. It somehow got, I was doing some graphics today, so it got moved off its perch. Okay. Here we are. Now we are engaged in this hearing, and this is our court, and I am right now representing all of you, which means that you are judging yourselves poorly, and that you are giving yourself your own verdict by not coming here. Your verdict is going to be somewhat difficult for you because you could have come here by now. And I expect that you're going to have some kind of verdict in the next day or 5 days or so that will be telling you, as we are in this time between the Greek Orthodox Easter and Mother's Day, that your society is really screwed up with regard to the Divine Mother and to the appreciation of youth, females and males, and that you are having trouble forming a circle to such an extent that Goddess God will begin to judge you. Goddess God will begin to judge you and and hopefully just your bodies, but not your souls. Because Goddess God may be able to give you some level of feedback before Goddess God completely gives you no feedback at all and you are just removed from this incarnation. It is likely that you might get some bodily feedback or some environmental feedback or some other kind of feedback that Goddess God will give you a more severe input, because you've been ignoring the ones that coming with joy and light. Now this is the courtyard we'd prefer to be in. On this holy days, and you are missing a very important, this is very clearly a problem for the people of Judeo-Christian heritage. This weekend, and the Greek Orthodox too, you can expect problems among the Judeo-Christian and Greco-Roman heritages this weekend, major. You can expect it today, expect it tomorrow, that some of your young people are going to get sick. And then your earth is going to get sick, and you're going to see it. All you middle class people are stuffing money into your wallets and money into your bank accounts and caring about nothing else. Something is going to give. And I mean tomorrow and Monday. It's going to give, and you're going to be shamed for letting this happen, because you didn't have to let this happen. And you've been given so many warnings and cajolings and perks and invitations and motivations and so forth, and none of that has been enough for you. So we're going to continue to do that, but Goddess God is definitely going to start crippling and causing you problems even more than you are already, and you're going to see that you're going to have to change. Goddess God's going to give you very direct feedback now. Let's see. I hate to see that you have to go through anything. It's hard for a mother to watch her children have to make themselves go into pain or difficulty or threat or danger. But sometimes that's the only truth that can come to you, that Goddess God will tell you that you've been causing that for yourselves. But this, of course, whoops, no, that's not it yet. It's coming. There it is. This, of course, is the court that we would prefer. This is the court we would prefer. All right, let's make some outreach calls on the basis of the hope of that. Okay, Georgine and Julianne Marie, Julianne Marie and Georgine, I am once again showing the milk, and here is the heart lights with the pictures on it, and here is the that Julianne Marie gave me, and here are the marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers, the marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers, and the cakes with the world globes on them. Okay, and now the thing is, you know, you are putting younger people at risk, and by doing that, given the sacredness of our particular family trees, you're putting this entire planet at risk. Now, you could hear on 2345 that Ma Patricia spoke with me, and I can tell you she has a lot less materially than you do, and yet she has much more spiritually than either one of you do. And she was on the broadcast, and she spoke a little bit on the broadcast. She's 82 years old, and she does not have anywhere near of the physical comfort that you have, although she has reasonable physical comfort, but not what you have, neither one of you. And yet she's able to connect with me. Now, why is this coming about? For a couple of reasons. One is that Julianne Marie has been spreading the wrong direction to everyone who knows her, and that is a powerful deterrent for anybody else. But there's something more going on there now with you, Georgine. Now it's you, Georgine, also. Georgine, you are definitely playing a role in this, because you could talk with me with or without my sister initially, and then we can engage her, and you're not doing it either. So you're as much of the problem, and I've come to the recognition that this is very interactive among women of our heritage, and that you are surrounded by Orthodox people. You've got a male who's older, who shouldn't be in the position he's in as your building, given the fact that you need to create a more cooperative environment in that building, and yet you both go on with this nonsense. So now, you know, I am judging you. And God has already judged you. Just in case you don't know it. God has already judged us all. Now, you are endangering younger people. You have taught them the wrong way. It causes them to endanger themselves. These are profound sins. I can't make this easier for you. You have female relations who you have not honored. Their souls are in the universe. It's in the Akashic record. It's in the universal memory. It's in God's memory. They're noticing that you don't do anything to venerate them together in a community-oriented way. Now, that's what this is all about. And if you can't figure this out by now, you're dumber than I thought you were, both of you. I don't think you are that dumb. I think you're having some kind of emotional reaction. Mother, please, I want to do it myself, like the old commercial. You're reacting against a woman requiring you to do something. You know, that itself is internalized sexism, and you have clearly, both of you, low self-esteem compared to your abilities and your co-leadership abilities. You have low self-esteem, both of you. You're acting it out toward each other and toward me, or Anne Marie and Ma Patricia, and toward Lee and Xuan, and you've acted it out toward everybody. You acted it out to Luann, Georgine, who brought you the computer. Now you're also making her life a little bit more futile, what she did for you. No, you two are both very, very ill, and you're going to have to wake up now. I am going to be compassionately shaming all of your building. Of course, you have the idiot sitting in the office there who doesn't belong there. But it's not just him. It's you. It's both of you. And no, there were plenty of old men in our family who screwed up. My family's filled with old patriarchal processes. There's old men that we also have to shame, and I'm working on that. But we are now including the women. The women of this culture have enough to overcome the lack of mirroring of men, unless they themselves are fixated on approval from men, older men. And I believe you both are. And I believe that that diminishes you, and it diminishes your goddesshood, and it's very unfair what you're doing to yourselves. It's very unfair what you're doing to the younger generation. It's also very unfair what you're doing to yourselves. So we have to get you the help you need. You're going to have to come to the attention of a lot of people. Okay? That's the way it has to be. But remember, we're also doing the older guys, real big time, and we've done them already. Julia Marie knows, and the Cousins family even made complaint to the absurd court order that I had talked with his neighbors. Well, I did. I talked with his neighbors, and I did a lot more than that. I talked to a lot of lawyers, and a lot of domestic abuse lawyers, a lot of all kinds of people that know about the branch of our family that is most dodgedly patriarchal and impacting Julia Marie and Hannah is in the wrong way, and you all know about them. And poor Jackie, I called her, and she's stuck. Now I have to call. I'm going to do all tomorrow. I'm going to go back to my technique of calling you with another person on the line. I'm going to go back to that. But I'm not going to expose Anne Marie and Ma Patricia personally against your rejection anymore. You don't have to hear from them that way. They don't have to be that patient with you. You owe them something. You owe Ma Patricia something. You do. And if you don't know it, then you're immoral. You're not ethical people. And you also owe me. Both of you do, and Julie Emery in particular owes me something, quite a bit more than she's been doing. What she's doing is purely and simply unethical, and the fact that this society is so laissez-faire that has no ethics for families does not make it right, and it will not make it acceptable to the Mother, Father, Goddess, God. So I'm saying all the names of your great-grandmother Shekinahs again. We are saying, of course, Shirley and Malka, and of course, I'm hosting this here through the agency of love and kindness of Sarah, Harriet, and Ray, and also now with all of their family, Grandma Popper, Grandma Margulies, Clara and Ray and Clara, and Sarah, Harriet, and Jacqueline. And yes, Jacqueline has not been left out of the loop, and she is leaving herself out of the loop, and that's why she's loopy. That's been going on for a long time. She's played her games with Julia Marie just the same way that Annette did. Both of them, nevertheless, though, I will say this for both of them. If given the chance to hit a nuclear button and launch an attack on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they probably both wouldn't have done it. And given the option of taking a tank and mowing down the homes of civilians, they probably wouldn't have done it. And men of our planet have done all kinds of things like that. And they not only pushed the button for Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but they made lots of bombs, and they used all your tax money for it. All kinds of nuclear weapons that could destroy us all in a minute. Maybe ISIS and Iran and Israel will get into it, and that'll happen. And you can say, oh, I couldn't do anything about it. You sure could have. How dare you? And these two young people, they're in your midst. Vanessa and Harlan is the biz. You betrayed them, and I am here for them, and I will say right now that I am taking the role of clan mother, and that outranks any other kind of motherhood. And I am your mothers too. And I am more powerful than your mothers were. Now, you need to identify with a more powerful mother figure. I called the Supreme Court yesterday. I called the Congress, and I called the presidents. Bogus nonsense. I left them all the same messages. That the new millennial golden rule is the law of the mother, father, goddess, God. Who are you to doubt the word of the Paraclete? Who are you to say that because you've spoken to her as a human being, she couldn't, and she didn't come to you on a cloud with lightning and rays of sun bursting from her ears, that she is not the Paraclete? I am, and I'm the best one you're going to get. So you better listen up, you're all going to wind up dead. And for no reason, the total lack of cooperation with good input and good counsel. You can't be that idiotic. I can't believe anybody would be that idiotic. That a little female relational aggression, spite, envy, jealousy, or whatever it is, or just low self-esteem that you can't help but project on another person, and therefore degrade whatever she has to offer. Whatever you're doing with this, it's old, it's cold, and it's so beneath you, and it's so beneath what Goddess God put into you, and all of the energy that people think of, all the money and time that was put into both of your educations. Think of all the time that was put into your having some kind of health care. Think of all of that. And now it's all becoming distorted because all you do is take pills and give pills. That's not health. That's pillification. That's drugging. Julianne Marie has drugged her child. And she very well may be likely drugging herself. And if you're typical of what's going on in older people in this culture, Georgine, you're drugging yourself for no reason. You have Ma Patricia and a lot of other holistic people. There are loads of them all over the internet that you're not even telling me that you're going on to visit, that have all of the answers with herbal and relational and other healing techniques. And yet you're busy drugging yourselves, both of you, in your little four walls. I have no respect for your behaviors. I do respect your souls and your potential. You have Goddess within you. I want to see that. And of course, I will say all the names of the great and grandmothers, Shirley and Malka, and Grandma Papa, Grandma Margulies, Tara, Harriet, Ray and Clara, Sarah, Harriet, Jacqueline. I'm working on Jacqueline this week. Before we get to Mother's Day, we're going to relieve that little idiot with her two sons. It's a big problem to have only sons, I can tell you that. In the patriarchal culture, it really dumbs you down. And a ditzy daughter-in-law, which she has. She had two ditzy daughter-in-laws. So, and you know, it was partly because I wasn't among them to bring them up and show them the right way. I wasn't there. I was missing. There was a missing piece of the lace in our family. But you know, there's enough places for you to find something of the truth of this, and you've been all avoiding it. So you have to work at this to not find it. There's so many places on the internet that talk about patriarchy and goddesshood and so forth. There's so much out there that you've all been ignoring. You have to work at it. You have to work at not knowing you rank 94th in the world in representation for women. You have to work for that. You have to work at not knowing, after you've been told many times by me, and not knowing that you're only place without paid family leave. You have to work at that. You're working at it. You're working at it, staying dumb and avoiding everything. I have no respect for you whatsoever right now, but I have great respect for your potentials. And I do not judge souls. I judge behaviors. Goddess God judges souls. So now I love you. And I make errors too. I'm slow on doing this. I should have woken up years ago. I made lots of mistakes. I continue to make lots of mistakes. So don't think I think I'm holier than now. I just think that the new millennial golden rule gives us all the way to be holy. And that's the way to do it. And also, so I said, did I say Grandma Popper and Grandma Precious Antoinette, Rose, Grandma Marie, Grandma Popper, Grandma Dorothy, Lynn, Grandma Lynn, and Grandma Rachel, and all the women of your age groups, and Shakina's, Naomi, and Myrna, and you can connection with them. You know, even I don't know why you have to wait for them all the time. Why is it you are such prima donnas that everybody has to come to you? Julianne Marie is such a prima donna. She was hurt so badly as a baby. Well, I was telling her this morning, I used to work as a therapist in juvenile court. I worked with kids whose parents put their cigarette butts out on them. Julianne Marie never did that. And you know what? Those kids were kinder than Julianne Marie. So enough is enough already. I have great compassion. We do need to give her a chance to catharsis out what she felt with the colic. It's very real pain, but she's been holding it onto it as a lifestyle and passing it on to others, including Holland Liz's body. That's wrong. That's simply unethical. And there's room for ethics even for people who need compassion. In fact, to have ethics is the greatest compassion. So you're both unethical. You're both unethical people. I don't respect what you're doing. You need to grow up. Face yourselves. Look in the mirror. Then give each other a big hug and call me. With a big glass of milk and chocolate chip cookies and a big cake with a big heart on it. And Julianne, if she has a heart light, let her show it to you. Because she gave me a beautiful one. We've seen it many times. Okay, and so and now and I also say Victoria, Mariama, Estrella, and Libertia, and Raquel, and Shannon. Vanessa's family is important. Vanessa's very, very important. She's a young girl coming in and out of your building. What are you doing to her? Nice. Find it disgusting. But if it ever happens to Vanessa, you bet you'll both be held responsible. I'll make sure that happens. Okay? Same with Lewis. If anything happens to either one of those kids, you're both going to be held responsible. I mean, it's, of course, not just you alone. You had a big idiot in the office, but this went on for a long time because of his idiocy, too. This culture makes you all so stupid. I can't believe it. Now, let's wake up, and I love you, and Donnie Rorfleet and Rory Ray with sweetheart, and Rory Ray with sweetheart, and Donnie Rorfleet say hi and hugs, Heather and Jan, Jen and Heather, on behalf of Whiskers and Tiger and Holly and Buttermilk and Black and Buttermilk, and Felicity and Felix, and all the flora and the fauna, including the furry friends and the pets and the big white dogs, female and male, and very gentle, and the butterflies, the birdies, and the bees. Don't take them for granted, and all the people too of the local, global, universal neighborhood. You can be co-secretary general goals, co-seg, or else you will be, but I clearly am going to have to pull you two screaming into your goddesshood. You want to be little worms. You're not going to be allowed to be little worms. The world is going to know that you have goddess within you, and you've been wasting it on wormhood. So wait, and you know what? Wormwood is what they call Chernobyl. So look out. All right, every blessing. And you can call me 24/7. Huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs. Hi, holy baby girl, Julianne Reed. There's a new message with Patricia on 2345, and also a new message for you and Georgina on 55.7. I'm showing you the milk. I'm showing you your beautiful heart right there, darling. And there is your the pictures of our family wrapped around it. There they are, and there. And here's the marvelous miraculous budding blooming flowers in water, and here are the cakes of both seasons. Now, Julianne Marie, you have these messages to listen to. All I'm going to say to you is the names of your mothers and great and grandmothers. You are immoral, you are unethical, and you are very, very sick. But you can be healed very easily. You know how. I'm not. You are controlled by your Stockholm syndrome. You have identified with the aggressor. You are passing on your ambivalence about femininity and masculinity into your child's body and into the life of both these young people. Vanessa and Harlan is and Vanessa. Your colic deserves healing, not hiding. You can use it to heal others, or you can use it to harm others. Just because old men don't pay any attention to reality doesn't mean you don't have to. If you think it's a win to ally yourself with old men who have a lot of money while they destroy their planet, I have news for you. You can jump into their penthouses when they crumble, because they will crumble, and they will be deader than you are, and their karma will be even worse than yours, and yours will be really very, very bad. Don't do that to yourselves. Okay, so I'm going to not say anything more. I'm just going to say, as Harriet, I'm going to say Grandma Popper, Grandma Margulies, I'm going to say Grandma Ray and Grandma Clara, and Grandma as Harriet and Jacqueline. Jacqueline has done a terrible thing to you. She seduced you into her own patriarchal shit. And she has 2 sons. You only have 1. And she doesn't have a living sister. And you do on this planet. She has 1 in the universe. But you have 1 on this planet. You are the bigger waster. Okay, and Precious Antoinette and Risen Rose and Grandma Marie and Grandma Popper and Grandma Dorothy and Lynn and Rachel and all of them, and I read the Right After Marianne too. Marion, Meredith, I'm going after these babies. You ladies are going to get shamed. How dare you do this to one another? And to me, and to my Patricia and Anna Marie. How dare you? You deserve shame. That's what you want. That's what you're going to get. I'm going to make sure your children know so they don't have to suffer for your little passed down transmission of your idiocy. Now, I love you, and I would much rather claim you as a goddess. Okay? But you can't have it both ways. You can't suck up to old men and also be spring. You can't ignore your own sister and your own casinos and be spring. You can't expect that. And you can't expect it to not harm your children if you keep doing that. And that will come back at you. And so I say all these names and more. Marion and Meredith and Nisa. Nisa tried twice. Marcia tried twice. People have tried, who you know have tried with you. Even lousy Linda, with all her orthodoxy, gave a little bit of an attempt. You shut them all down, Julia Marie. Your extremity is extremely unethical, and you have to wake up now. Okay, I love you, and I give you huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs. And I'm pretty sure I say the names of the men and all the creatures and everything on the 5547 line. You listen to it there, Julia Marie. And you know my little kitty cat, Maria Rainbow Sweetheart, she has more mammalian in her than you do. You have become a reptile. She and her sister, Maria Rainbow Sweetheart and Donia Rorflees, both of them hug and touch and kiss and cuddle together. When they visited with their mother next door, they were very open to it. Whiskers, and their sister Tiger, who lives right down the street. And there's some other of the little kitty cats from their family. You don't even know what a kitty cat knows. Now, your mother did not burn you with cigarettes on your skin. Your extremity is an indulgence, and you are spoiled. And it is ugly. So wake up. I love you, and I want the greatest things for your soul and your goddesshood. I want you to be fully appreciated. You have enormous gifts, Julia Marie. You do play piano better than, or do better artwork and dance better than I do. You have great gifts. Don't waste yourself, and don't waste me. Don't waste who you are for just some old man to pat you on the head. You have Stockholm Syndrome. Wake up, honey.
Type playback and record. To change extension type,